the critique. They discuss their own failings and advantages. And more important, they discuss the techniques and the cars of their opponents. Out of these talks, a strategy is developed, one that will see them through the race. The Ferrari is the favored car in this race, and with good reason. They have probably won more Grand Prix races than any other car in the world.
1:41.9, credo che sarà in questa linea, quindi in seconda linea esattamente, Monet qui va molto bene, e la macchina.
I asked driver Phil Hill what his team talked about.
Well, in general, about all we've talked about is how the other cars have gone in relation to our cars. And also, we've talked about what we think our own capabilities are. And we've had a few suggestions from the team manager as to what speeds we ought to try to do. Also, we talked about a few ailments that each one of our cars individually had. Tripp's car had one fault, mine had a few other things that were wrong with it, and well, all of them needed a few little things. And what we've done is tried to talk over all these things and try to ascertain what speed we might be able to go during the race. And that was about it.
English car.
This is the Porsche. Porsche has a long history in the manufacture of rear-engine sports cars. But this model is their very first attempt at a Formula One racing car.
Racing is right ahead of us right now, technically. That might be what we're trying to do. We try to catch them.
I think the British cars are behind.
The cars experienced some problems during the trial run, and a great deal of interest centers about its performance during the race tomorrow. I asked Joachim Bonnier to tell us a little bit about the car.
Well, we've been discussing before the Grand Prix of Monaco, which is due to be held tomorrow. What we found out after practice today with our Porsches. We got a few new things on the cars, particularly the engine, and also the front suspension is brand new. The engine is now fuel injection, and it's been working very well indeed, much better than we hoped for. With the suspension, we had a bit of trouble today. We had shock absorbers a bit too loose, shuddering, but we hope to put it right for the race tomorrow. Also, for the future, we hope to be up with the Ferraris. That is engine-wise, they're definitely ahead of us right now. And chassis-wise, the English might be ahead of everybody. Obviously, they don't have the engines that the Ferraris have, and I think also our engine right now is slightly ahead of theirs. But very shortly, I hope we'll be able to beat them in the Grand Prix circuit.
Monaco has seen 18 Grand Prix races. This will be the 19th. A tradition of pomp and ceremony begins the day. The arrival of the mayor of Monaco means that the race is about ready to begin. There's a sense of anticipation in the crowd in these last few minutes before the race. Last-minute adjustments are made. The expected tensions of the drivers are hidden underneath a much too obvious calm. Last-minute check of the equipment. A last-minute look at the cars. Regulations create order out of confusion.
Un minuto e non parla, e la macchina non parla. Nessuno non deve partire, è lui che deve partire. Nessuno non deve partire. Che si può spingere dopo. No!
Drivers, will you please meet in front of Monsieur Chiron, the director of the race? Drivers, please come up. Monsieur le conducteurs, venez joindre. Monsieur Chiron,
Vamos, let's get this race going.
The drivers are called together for a last-minute briefing.
Pour la première fois dans les annales des courses automobiles, c'est un ancien débat que cette délicate tâche est confiée. Je vais m'employer devant eux. Je compte sur vous. Je compte sur vous. Ensuite,
They are reminded what the different flags mean. They are warned about which corners have been made more dangerous by oil and rubber slicks laid down during the practice run.
vous connaissez le circuit et signaux.
They are told again about the international rules and regulations governing the event.
Je vous demande de respecter les signaux qui vous sont faits et de montrer votre sportivité. Vous savez que toute voiture rejointe doit céder la place.
From the moment the drivers step into their cars, they leave behind their mechanics, their managers, their well-wishers. They have only themselves to rely on now. Themselves and the car.
Moving up to number 42, Maurice Trantignon, with the Serenissima Cooper Maserati, one of the old leaf spring Coopers with a new four-cylinder Maserati engine. Number 32, Cliff Allison, with the...
Each man knows the other, and yet the race is a lonely thing, an exciting thing, a purely personal thing, unexplainable to anyone except the man in the cockpit.
Unfortunately, Jimmy Clark had a break with his car after doing a tremendous lap in the first practice session, and tremendous efforts have been going on in the Lotus garage to rebuild it. They really have done a tremendous job, and there's no question about it. They had to be in Oxford that point, and decided not to bring it out today, but to concentrate on getting it really ready so Frankfurt has been fun with the real race tomorrow. And in this hour, similar car, they both have to be ready.
Countdown starts. The flag drops. They're off, jockeying for position in the first 100 yards. At the first turn, Ginther in number 36 has the lead. field springs out as they head towards the casino. Station turn is Ginther, Moss, Bonnier, Herman, Graham Hill, McLaren, and Phil Hill. Harbor leg, they're doing about 150 miles per hour. At the end of the first lap, Ginther is leading Moss by 5 seconds. Bonnier third, Herman fourth. Each lap is being driven as though it was the last one of the race. There is no let-up in concentration and hope. Ginther has a lead of 6 seconds now. Smaller engines of this year's car has not slowed the pace. The laps are being made in 1 minute and 37 seconds, faster than any previous year. We'll be back in a moment after this brief pause. Spectators crowd windows of apartments, balconies of restaurants for vantage points to watch the flying cars. Former heavyweight champion Ingemar Johansson on the left is a real fan. The road is sanded to soak up oil lost from cars. Hans Hermann's Porsche drifts around the station corner. Ginther, 36, Moss, 20. And Ginther still holds off Moss as they go through the harbor chicane. Less than 5 seconds separate the leaders. Ginther, Moss, Bonnier. Pull out, Moss keeps pressing Ginther. Passing the starting grid, it's still Ginther, Moss, and Bonnier's Porsche. Moss pushes, trying to force Ginther into an error. On the 14th lap, Moss makes his move. He passes Ginther as they start towards the casino. Moss, number 20, takes the lead. Moss, lying by the waterfront. The new order. First, Moss, number 20. Now second, Bonnier, number 2. And Ginther, number 36, drops to third. Mechanical trouble for Graham Hill. World champion Jack Brabham, number 24, in the pit. Whatever his trouble was, Graham Hill is out, and he's just a stoic spectator. There goes leader Moss. Phil Hill is now second, having passed Ginther and Bonnier. Jack Brabham and his Cooper leave the pit. Here come the leaders, Moss, Hill, and Ginther. But where is Bonnier's Porsche? Jacques Bonnier's Porsche is finished. Bonnier runs back to the pit. He's unable to fix his car. There's a disappointed driver. It's a three-car race now. Moss in the Lotus, followed by Hill and Ginther in Ferrari. Michael May's Lotus begins to smoke. Probably a ruptured oil line. John Surtees of England is out of the race. Michael Mays has to drop out, leaving 12 in the race. Jim Clark, number 28, signals that he's pulling in. Hill and Ginther in Ferraris running nose to tail chase after Moss. Ginther seems to have the faster car. It appears he could pass Hill. Savoni, Ferrari team manager, worries about how to catch Moss. A decision must be made. Signals are given to the Ferraris on the 73rd lap. The order for Ginther to pass Hill and catch Moss. Ginther passes Hill according to signal and moves into second place. Ginther, trying to catch Moss, does a lap at 72 miles per hour. Incredible on this twisting course. Ginther has closed to within 3.5 seconds of Moss. The new tactics might pay off. The crowd wonders if Moss can hold his first place position in a year-old car against the very latest Ferrari. Ginther, driving on the edge, slams to within 3 seconds of Moss. Starting the last lap, the position still holds. Moss. Ginther matching Moss's record lap time, but still behind. It's Sterling Moss, first man to win the Grand Prix of Monaco 3 times. Second across the line is Richie Ginther. The car still looks fresh. The driver shows obvious signs of strain, heat, and hard work. The 195-mile race was driven at an average speed of 70 miles per hour, the fastest ever for Monte Carlo. Richie Ginther's second place showed that the young Californian can hold his own with the world's best.
I couldn't go any faster than I was going, and they tried to make me go. Richie was sitting behind me for hours. He could go much faster than I could. I kept waving for him to make him go by. No, they wouldn't let him go by. So finally, when he went by, he went away like a rocket.
He was right after most of them came by. But he didn't get him.
Sterling Moss receives his prize, the Gold Cup for the 19th Grand Prix from Prince Pierre of Monaco. Sterling Moss has one more lap to make. A victory drive around the circuit to take the cheers of the crowds for a victory won by 3 seconds and 15 years of racing experience. We'll meet Sterling Moss in just a moment. Congratulations, Sterling. Did the race go pretty much as you expected?
Not quite. My intention was, if I got the lead at the first corner, I would have, on the second lap, not the first lap, I would have gone really fast. The reason for that is that on the first lap, you quite often get people with their oil tank a little too full, or blowing some oil out of the breathers. So the first time that you come round, well, it's really the second time you come round, is quite likely to be a dangerous time. So I would always slow the pace if I could for that lap. Then, if I'd been in the lead, I would have then gone flat out for 2 or 3 laps just to see if I could break away from the pack. If I could have broken away from the pack, then I would have done so, and pulled out if I could have 10 or 20 second lead. On the other hand, if I hadn't managed to pull away from the pack and I still had Richie Ginther or somebody sitting on my tail, I would have then slowed up and given him the lead for a certain amount of laps until I'd seen where I might be able to pass him and pull away. You see, the thing is, it's very much easier to follow a man, to chase, than be the one that's being chased. And if a man is following you really closely, I mean literally a couple of yards behind, he's learning an awful lot of your technique. Not necessarily for getting greater speed, but where he might be able to pass you. And if you have a particularly unusual line round a corner, which you may have found because of a bump or because of oil or something, you immediately show it to him. And therefore, unless you can break away from the pack, it's not a good thing in a race, I don't think, of 100 laps.